So now go for the first example. Find the root of x into e power x is equal to cos x using the false position method. So in the false position method, this is also known as regular falsy method. So for any type of equation, either it is an algebraic or transcendental, we can solve those type of equations using any of the methods, that is either bisection method or regular falsy method or Newton-Raphson method or iteration method. We have the so many methods, but in this problem we can solve x into e power x is equal to cos x using the false position method. So for this, I have to consider the given equation. Consider x into e power x is equal to cos x. Let us take cos x in the LHS side, that is x into e power x minus cos x is equal to 0. Compare this equation with f of x is equal to 0. We get f of x is equal to x into e power x minus cos x. So to solve this equation, first now we have to apply the intermediate value theorem. So for to apply the intermediate value theorem, you have to save this equation, right? This equation contains the trigonometric function, that is cos x. So we can put the calculator mode in radians mode. Okay, now I can take x. So first of all, I can put the calculator in radians mode. Okay, that is in radians mode. Now I have to save the equation. X e power x minus cos x. Right, x into e power x minus cos x, that is f of x. So what is our f of x? X into e power x minus cos x. Now you apply the intermediate value theorem, that is if from the values of 0 to up to, you can calculate whenever we get the two opposite signs of f of x, we can stop there. So for suppose if x is equal to 0, so calculate x equal to 0. What is the value of that one? That is minus 1. That is f of 0 is minus 1. Now calculate the value of x as 1. X into e power x minus cos x value is 2.1779, which is the negative value and which is the positive value. So no need to calculate the value of x is equal to 2. So for the decimal places, I can fix it for 4. So 2.1780. Here we can clearly observe that for the value of x is equal to 0, f of x is minus 1, and for the value of x is equal to 1, f of x value is 2.1779, that is a positive. So we get one negative value and one positive value. So by applying the intermediate value theorem, the root lies between 0 and 1. Okay. So here f of 0 and f of 1 have opposite signs, therefore roots lies between 0 and 1. Now, so what is the value of A? 0. What is the value of B? 1. When substituting A is equal to 0, what is f of 0? That is f of A. F of A is minus 1 and f of B is 2.1780. Right? Now by regular falsy method, What is the first approximation value? The first approximation, x1 is equal to a into f of b minus b into f of a by f of b minus f of a. Clearly we have a, b, f of a and f of b. Now substitute in this equation. Therefore, x1 is equal to a into f of b, that is 0 into 2.1780 minus b into f of a, 1 into minus 1 by f of b, 2.1780 minus f of a minus 1. Now calculate this value. So whenever you calculate this type of fractions, you don't put the values, you don't put the brackets on inside. You can just put one bracket for the numerator and one bracket for the denominator. The inside the bracket, no need of it. That is, I can take here as zero into 2.1780 minus 1 into minus 1 divided by 2.1780 minus 1. Okay, what is the value of that one? 0.3147, right? Now calculate f of x1, that is x into e power x minus cos x. What is the value of x1? 0.3147 e power 0.3147 minus cos of 0.3147. Calculate this value. 0.3147 e power 0.3147 minus cos 0.3147. So that is minus 0.5198. So this is the value of A is 0. This is the value of B, that is 1. In between we have x1. This is x1. x1 value is 0.3147. If we observe, for A is equal to 0, we get negative value. For B is equal to 1, we get the positive value. For 0.3147, we get the negative value. Clearly observe here, is it that by applying the intermediate value theorem for this equation, for this line, for A equal to 0, the value is negative. For x1, the value is negative. For B, the value is positive. So after the application of intermediate value theorem, the root lies between x1 and B. So therefore, root lies between x1, that is 0.3147, and B is equal to 1. For x1, What is the value of f of x1? Minus 0.5198. For b is equal to 1, 2.1780. Now again same. Take this as a, b, f of a, f of b, and calculate the second approximation. The second approximation, x2 is equal to a into f of b, that is 0.3147 into 2.1780 minus 1 into minus 0.5198 by f of b minus f of a, 2.1780 minus 0.5198. Are you clear with this one? So clearly again. So take this as a, b, f of a, f of b, a into f of b minus b into f of a by f of b minus f of a. Now calculate this value. Zero 0.3147 into 2.1780 minus 1 into minus 0.5198 divided by 2.1780 minus 0.5198. So what is the value of that one? 0.4467. 0.4467. Now calculate f of x2. So that is x e power x minus cos x, 0.4467 e power 0.4467 minus cos of 0.4467. Zero point 67 e power 0.4467 minus cos 0.4467, that is again minus 0.2036, that is we got the negative value. Clearly in the first approximation we decided the root lies between 0.3147 and 1. So now take the line, that is 0.3147 1, 0.3147 and 1. In between we can calculate the value of 0.4467. For 0.3147 we have the negative value, for the 1 we have the positive value. Again for 0.4467 we got the value that is negative. So by applying the intermediate value theorem, the root lies between 0.4467 and 1. Therefore, root lies between 0.4467 and 1. For the 0.4467, we got the value of minus 0.2036, and for the 1, we got the value of 2.1780, that is A, B, f of A and f of B. Now go for the third approximation. The third approximation x3 will be calculated 0.4467 into 2.1780 minus 1 into minus 0.2036 by 2.1780 minus 0.2036. 0.4467 into 2.1780 minus 1 into minus 0.2036 divided by 2.1780 minus 0.2036, that is 0.4940. Now calculate f of x3. 0.4940 e power 0.4940 cos of 0.4940. 0.4940 e power 0.4940 minus cos of 0.4940, that is minus 0.0708. So this is 0.4467 and this one is 1. In between we take 0.4940. This is negative, this is positive, again this one is negative. So root lies between 0.4940 and 1. Continue this procedure until we get the total value. Okay, now you have to continue this procedure whenever you get the two successive approximated values are same. Complete this problem and tell me the answers again and post it to me. Okay.